Hey everybody, it's Nathaniel Avila reporting from Dallas County, and who am I here with?
You're here with Clara Avila, also reporting from Dallas County.
So, what we're gonna talk about? Who is the butthole? Are you ready
That's
to talk
right.
about who's the butthole?
That's
I
right.
will tell you who the butthole is.
Who?
It is you. Yes,
Me?
it's you.
I don't think that's true.
You're the butthole.
I think it's you.
No. Anyway, we're ready to listen to the first one.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one here is AITA, or am I the butthole?
Mm-hmm.
For being mad that my dill, I think it means like dad-in-law,
Dad-in-law.
won't accommodate my allergy, so I'm not going to her dinner. Oh, daughter-in-law. I was gonna.
Daughter-in-law. That makes more sense than dad-in-law.
Okay. I guess it would be Phil for like father-in-law.
I guess it would be father-in-law. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the story. So what do you think straight off the bat? Is she the butthole?
For not accommodating allergies, that sounds like butthole behavior.
No,
but
like
we'll have to find out.
no. I mean, no. He. This person's not. Uh, uh, the one not accommodating. It's the daughter-in-law that's not
Yeah,
accommodating.
I know.
And
So I'm saying the daughter-in-law's a butthole.
but the person who's
The
actually
person who, I don't know.
being judged is not.
I suppose we'll find out.
Okay. Okay, so here it is. I am very, very frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. My son has been married to my daughter-in-law, Clara,
Daughter-in-law.
for 3 years now. I've always made extra dishes that didn't include meat to accommodate her. I guess she's a vegetarian. No matter how much it was a pain to do, I always made sure she had options to eat when I hosted, or she was over. She is vegetarian and at one point tried to go vegan. My son and her never hosted due to living in a small apartment, but that changed since they just bought a home. They are having a dinner this week, and I called her to remind her I'm allergic to nuts. She then informed me that she doesn't have time and to bring my own food. She told me that she cooks a lot with different nuts and she can't make adjustments to her menu. Okay. This is where I am at be a jerk. This is weird.
Okay.
I told her I will not be going, neither will my husband. That I have accommodated her for years and not once have I made her bring her own food. This started an argument where she thinks I'm being unreasonable. My husband is on my side, but my son and her are very upset. What do you think? Is she the butthole?
I don't think that she's the butthole. No, she has an allergy, and it sounds like the daughter-in-law should have known about that allergy already and accommodated her, because that's, what you do for family. It just sounds a little rude that you wouldn't, at least make something for your mother-in-law that she could have.
Yeah. And especially if you've been feeding her like vegetarian.
Yeah. And this is assuming that they have a good relationship.
I'm guessing.
I'm guessing.
Okay, she has an edit. So this is what she has to say. Stop downvoting people who say that our allergies are not life-threatening. They are correct. My allergy is not life-threatening. If it was going to kill me, I would be okay with any of the dishes having nuts. Oh, I wouldn't be okay with any of the dishes having nuts. I just asked for one that I can eat. I can be at a table with nuts. It's fine. This actually personally annoys me. Allergic reactions are a spectrum from very mild to kill you. Also, for anyone saying allergies get worse every time people have it are incorrect. Some allergies can be improved through exposure therapy, which is usually done at a doctor's. My daughter has literally done that with her shellfish allergy. I think your daughter-in-law might be being a little shellfish, in my personal opinion. I see. Why can't you just make something without nuts on it? Why is that such a big issue?
Yeah, well, I don't know. This one just seems kind of silly. Because it's like, I don't know, just make a dish that doesn't have nuts in it for your mother-in-law. I don't see. And then why is she being treated like a butthole just because she wants to have food, she wants to eat food comfortably?
I don't know. I don't see what the big deal is.
I don't
Just
see what
make
the-
something that I think
I
your
don't
daughter-in-law.
see what the big deal is. It's just cook something that doesn't have nuts in it.
Yeah, I think your daughter-in-law is kind of being a butthole because she's not doing something she should probably do as a hostess. She is not a hostess with the mostest.
Yeah, not the hostess with the mostest in this situation. Hey.
And I think, I don't know why she says that her son is not on her side. I think he's just being like, oh, whatever you say, dear.
No, probably.
I think the actual OP, that means original poster.
Yes,
I think OP is not the butthole, and daughter-in-law is butthole.
I'd say
And
I would agree with that.
I don't think it's a bad decision for you to skip out on this, because your daughter-in-law clearly doesn't respect you. And you should probably have a talk with your son and tell him to maybe grow a spine, or grow a pair. And that's it.
Okay.
What? It's true.
All right. What else?
And let's see what the people of Reddit have to
Let's
say.
see what the people of Reddit have to say.
Nata. That means not the butthole.
Yes, we know.
Allergies are not food critiques. You literally can die from a bad reaction. The fact that you're accommodating on her dietary requests and then she completely dismissive of your actual needs is absurd. Definitely don't go to a dinner when the chef is blasé about trying to kill you.
Well, we already know that her allergy isn't life-threatening. It's probably just going to be uncomfortable for her if she were to consume something with nuts in it.
Nuts in it. It's more of a courtesy thing.
It is. I mean, I have allergies that aren't life-threatening, but is it uncomfortable for me to eat something that I'm allergic to? Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And I'm not allergic. I'm allergic to pollen in the air.
Yes, well, that's not related to food allergies.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right, let's see what another one is. Let's see. What does POO mode mean?
POO mode?
POO mode? What does that mean?
POO mode?
Proctologist only orifices?
What?
What does that even mean?
What?
All right, let me look at this.
I think that we're losing track here. I think we should bring it back to what we're doing.
Are we the butthole?
Yes, I think that you should stop looking up whatever it is, whatever acronym.
Okay.
Or whatever.
All right. Am I the butthole for telling my bill? I think it means brother-in-law.
Okay.
There's a lot of in-law stuff.
Other in-law stuff.
To pay me $700 for my lost coat when I bought it for $100.
What?
What is it? What do you think?
He's asking for $700 for a $100 coat.
Yeah, that this person bought.
So far, sounds like butthole behavior. But I guess we'll find out.
Or is it that Sigma grind set, Clara?
Read the thing.
The Sigma grind set.
Read the thing, Mr. Sigma. Come on.
So last year, I was at the mall with my fiance.
Keep going.
When I saw this awesome cashmere wool coat, it was perfect in every way, and there was only one left in my size. The best news was that it was on clearance for 100 bones. So I thought it without a second thought. So I bought it without a second thought.
Mm-hmm.
I have worn it several times last year, but it hasn't been cold enough this year for me to break out the coat. Last week, when I saw the news about the upcoming cold front, what are you doing with the cat?
I'm holding her.
Okay. The upcoming cold front, I decided it was time to take it to the dry cleaners, so that I could wear it this week. After tearing all my closets apart without seeing it, I asked my fiancée if she had seen it. She told me that she hadn't seen me wear it in a while, so she lent it to her brother to wear to a wedding.
What the?
I was so annoyed at hearing this, but decided not to make a big deal, so I simply told her to tell her brother to bring it back so I could get it dry cleaned. Thursday rolls around and he hasn't brought it back, so I asked her about it again. Nothing. Come Friday, I haven't heard anything, so I called him. He said he told my wife on Tuesday that he got drunk at the wedding and lost my coat.
Oh.
I was super annoyed at this, and I told him that he owes me that exact coat from that exact brand. Last night, my fiancée came home from work in a mood and handed me $100. She said that her brother dropped off the money and I shouldn't have made her brother pay for the coat since I knew he doesn't make very much and I haven't worn it but a handful of times. I looked at the $100 and I told her that I wanted a replacement coat for the amount it currently cost so that I could buy a new one, and that $100 won't cover it. She said that he went to the store and it cost $700 now, but she knew I only paid $100 for it, so she told him $100 would cover the cost. I agreed that $100 doesn't buy me a new coat. We went back and forth, but couldn't find any common ground, so she offered to throw in an extra $100 of her own money, and I said sarcastically that I'm coming out ahead. I argued that I'm still out of coat and nothing will satisfy my loss except for a replacement coat. She argued that I don't have to have an exact coat and that I could buy a similar one with $200. She thought I was being ridiculous and called her parents on speakerphone. Of course, they sided with their children, and her dad tried to say that a man shouldn't be so hung up on a coat. I told him that a man replaces what he loses. So now they're all mad at me for wanting to make a profit from their son and intimating that he's not a man. Am I wrong for wanting the same coat as a replacement? So what do you think?
Okay, this one's tough. Because I can understand where he's coming from. Oh, Jesus.
I dropped the phone.
Mr. Butterfingers over here.
Right. What were you going to say?
I can understand the want to replace something that you liked. Mm-hmm. Right? Obviously, he really liked this coat. He was going to wear it, but he wasn't able to wear it previously. Mm-hmm. And see, why is the wife giving her brother his clothing without his permission?
Right.
That's like, there are some boundaries, you know. You can't just be like, oh, I haven't seen him worn this in a little bit. I'm just going to take it and give it to my brother so that he can wear it without even telling him. And then when the time comes for him to actually get a chance to wear the coat, which he seems excited about, it's not there. And we come to find that the brother-in-law has lost his coat, which is like, that wasn't even a thing for him to lose in the first place. It wasn't his. Mm-hmm. And so I can understand why he would want a replacement coat. The fact that the replacement coat is $700,
yeah,
that's tricky. I don't know if you can make that demand of someone.
I think that I don't think he's a butthole for wanting a replacement. But the replacement being super expensive to this guy who obviously doesn't have a lot. I think it comes off as kind of like loan sharky a little bit.
Pretentious.
Yeah, a little like you owe me this money. You owe me. If it was me, and he just like gave me like 100 bones, I'd be like, okay, we're square.
Why are you saying bones? Just say dollars.
It's cool. I would say we're square, and that's it. That's the end of discussion.
He covered the cost that the coat was at the time that he bought it.
I think that's it. I think that's a good
place to leave it.
That's the end of the story. I think he might be this guy might be a bit of a butthole for being so bent out of shape about it and being like, give me my money, where's my money? And
well, he doesn't want money, he wants a new coat.
He wants a coat with money.
He wants the same coat from the same brand. The problem is that now that coat costs $700.
Yeah, because he found it like on sale.
He found it on sale on clearance. And it's not on clearance anymore.
Because it was a real find.
It was a real find.
This is a real find.
This is a real find.
But now it's not a real find.
Nope.
Because it was a real find, and you can't real find it again. So.
Well, you can find it again, but now it's $700.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a real find.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll just be a regular find.
Okay.
So. I think he's a bit of not a butthole in terms of you wanting a replacement, like something to compensate you for it. I get it, but also like I don't want this to turn into like a thing about money, because money can really mess up things.
Yep.
So he gave you the money.
He gave you the money,
and I wouldn't like pressure my fiance to be like, I'll give you 100 bones.
I will also give you $100. Just leave it at the you got $100.
Yeah, I would agree.
I hope that you find a new coat that you love as much as you did that old coat.
That old coat that you only wore once. I guess.
I don't think that the brother is in a financial position to buy you a $700 replacement coat.
Yeah, replacement coat. I think you should probably leave it.
Yeah.
You have the $100. That's it. You're done. Okay, so let's see what these guys say. So this guy says, not the butthole, Nata. Obligatory. You don't have a bill problem. You have a fiance problem.
Okay.
Talk to her that it was absurd of her to just randomly lend out your stuff without asking, and that was only exasperated by the lend object getting lost, which is fair. It is now up to her to replace the coat she took. Whether she makes her brother pay or not is irrelevant. She is the one that took your coat without asking. She is responsible for a reasonable replacement. Maybe asking her $700 is a bit much, but she can go with you to the shop and waste the time finding a comparable coat and pay for it, investing both time and money that she is expecting you to invest. That's another thing. I mean, stuff is just stuff. It's like...
That's true.
Stuff is just stuff. This is your fiance, and I'm pretty sure she's a lot more valuable than a $700 coat
you really
that
don't
you bought for $100.
Ruin your relationship over a coat.
Over a coat. So here's an edit. My last paragraph may not perfectly be worded. I am getting away with too many comments on it. So let me rephrase. So he's going to rephrase. Maybe asking for $700 in cash can be seen as trying to make a profit, but it is better to make it clear that you want the same coat, or at least a coat that you consider equal as the one that was taken from you, either by having Bill hunt down where/how he lost it, or your fiancé pays the time and financial cost to get you the coat, whatever it may cost. I don't think so. Okay, here's another one. Says, Nata, she didn't hand her brother $100. She handed him a coat. He didn't need $100 for the wedding. He needed a coat. I do a lot of bargain hunting and thrifting. I buy things for low cost that have higher value because I invest time and expertise into knowing what to buy. In this case, your financial investment was $100, but you also were in a right place at the right time to find a coat at a deep discount. You stored it and kept it in good condition. You had enough knowledge to see a value in it, a value that your brother-in-law appreciated because he decided it was nice enough to wear to a wedding. When your Bill took the coat, he valued it at more than $700. They owe you a similar coat. Now, if you can find one for $100, sure, it costs about the same materials and quality than the one he lost. That is the work he needs to put in, not you. You're dumping the girlfriend, right?
No.
I think that's a bit drastic.
That's a bit drastic.
Here's another one that says, well, it's just a coat, but the fact that your fiancé gave your stuff away without even telling you, let alone asking, didn't tell you it was lost. Made no effort to see your reasoning and then went to daddy for help makes her a huge butthole.
Okay.
Nata, you have a girlfriend problem. I might have to respectfully disagree.
I would have to respectfully disagree. Yeah, it's true that she shouldn't have taken the coat without permission and given it to her brother, but like
I wouldn't
I don't
destroy
think
this
that
whole
this is
relationship.
I don't think this is a break up with you moment.
Yeah.
It's just a coat.
It's just a coat, not a big deal. So let's go into like some actual like people being buttholes. So let's see. My girlfriend got hurt at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I feel terrible, but I don't think it was on purpose. She's mad at me. Okay. So what do you think about that?
Okay.
And so
Interesting premise.
it's a bit of a long one. Okay, so I started taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in 2021 as a way to get into better shape after the lockdowns. I had joined a regular gym, and I also started going to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy on the advice of my cousin, who had started going to one. He lives in another province. I guess he's Canadian. However, he was able to recommend one where I live. I'm only blue belt, but I really enjoy it. I started dating my girlfriend last year, and I thought Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was something we can do together. She was reluctant. I got her to come observe me a few times. She was still reluctant. Then she told me about a woman-only class for beginners at a different academy. Part of why she was reluctant was that there are currently no women at my academy. We have had women before, but they always drop out and stop coming after a while. I didn't think the women's only class was a good idea. Plus, the idea was for us to do something together, so I convinced her to join my academy.
Mm-hmm.
She joined almost 2 months ago. In that time, she went with me every time she wasn't working on the same evenings. I was free and would go to the academy. She never went alone, though. A few times she complained to me that the others at the academy were rough, but it's a contact sport, and I convinced her to stay after she wanted to quit. Last week, I had to work a couple of days when she wasn't working. I tried to convince her to go without me. The first time she didn't, but the second time I got her to go. She got hurt that time. She was rolling with the blue belt, and he got her into an arm bar. She says he went right into it and didn't go slow or give her time to tap. He broke her arm.
Ooh.
Left ulna near the elbow. He says he was just trying to show her how fast things happen in real life and didn't think her arm would break like that.
Oh.
She said that the others should know because of the size and weight difference, and he should not have done the arm bar that forceful or fast. I believe him that it was an accident, however I feel terrible for my girlfriend. I have only talked to her once since she got hurt. It was mostly her being upset, and I didn't really get to say anything. We were talking about moving in together. Now she said she doesn't want to.
Ooh.
She said the others at the academy were rough and should have known to not go so hard because she's smaller than them. It's a contact sport, and one of the purposes is self-defense. It's not like she got hurt. It is like, okay. I do not like that she got hurt.
Yeah,
that's what
go.
That's what it said. But I also believe the blue belt or any others were rough on purpose. She won't talk to me. I don't even know what's going to happen with our relationship. She said she is mad at herself for not quitting when she wanted to, but she is mad at me too and at our instructor. I don't know why she's mad at him. I feel awful that she got hurt, but at the same time, it's a contact sport and injuries can happen. I don't think it was on purpose or anything like that. Okay. What do you think?
I don't think that he's the asshole.
You mean the butthole?
Sorry, the butthole. Excuse me.
Why not?
It sounded like he just wanted to do something with his girlfriend. Although, I mean, if your girlfriend doesn't want to do something, you shouldn't force her to.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, he wasn't the reason she got hurt.
I would have to disagree, Clara. I think he's a
Really?
massive butthole.
Really?
Because it might have started from a good place, but I think and when she said, "I don't want to do this because of this, that, and the other thing," I think you should probably respect that, especially if it's a bunch of like dudes who are being super like rough with each other.
That's true.
And there's like completely like bad weight differences, and this guy being so clueless and like, why is she so mad at me? I don't get it. She just broke her arm, and him also like, and this guy being all like, I just wanted to break her arm to teach her a lesson
well,
or
he
something.
didn't want to break her arm to teach her a lesson.
He shouldn't even try to, or even like.
He wasn't trying to break her arm.
You not even like be in that position to where an arm can be broken.
I don't know, I don't know anything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I mean, if he's a blue belt, he's obviously like more experienced than her, and I don't know why he's like not like taking it a bit easy, like build her up to that level. And I can see why women don't want to like be in this class.
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna like break your arm to prove a point, and I can understand why she's mad at the instructor, because it happened on his watch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he let it happen.
Yeah.
And we need to provide like a safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
And this does not sound like a safe environment.
I mean, it's just one of those, like, I told you I didn't want to do this, and now look, I broke my arm.
Mm-hmm. And I think maybe you should probably stick by your girlfriend.
Yeah. Sure.
And if you want to do something with your girlfriend, try to find maybe something else instead of just like forcing this thing that she didn't want to do.
Meh.
So I say mad your butthole.
I don't think he's like a major butthole, but he's probably a bit of a butthole. Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
He is a super butthole. So let's see what the people of Reddit say.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty obvious why women stop coming to this place.
Cool.
So that's the first one.
Yep. Not a verdict, but okay.
He did it on purpose, 99% sure.
Ooh.
Her being a white belt, he should know to go easy, like as I was saying.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, injuries can happen, but it also seems like he put more effort than he should have. Also,
well, maybe he was trying to impress her or something.
Impress her?
Really stupid.
Yeah, it was very dumb, and he ended up like mortally hurting her.
Ending up breaking her arm.
Sending her to the hospital. But it seems like he put more effort in it. Also, if I were you, I would look up the gym and the instructor to see how legit he is. Even in professional fights for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu matches, it rarely happens because they all give their opponents time to tap, and they're doing it to win. Sometimes seems like the blue belt should not be a blue belt. That's what it makes me think. He did it on purpose or doesn't know what he's doing. So yeah, I think you're the butthole. So yeah, and I think you like his excuse for like, I just want to show her life, how fast life could be. Like, get out of here with that. Like, be like, get out of here with that.
I mean, that part doesn't make any sense to me, because just because you're taking a class doesn't mean you're going to actually apply it to real life.
And usually, like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like, some people view it as like a self-defense, other people view it as like, he obviously says it's a contact sport.
Yeah.
So he's viewing it more like as a sport. So there are like rules that you need to apply to.
Yeah.
And
we're not doing free range Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out here.
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu out here, and like,
it's not like we're gonna go out into the street and all of a sudden, ooh, bar hold,
grapple, and like
grapple,
and like
figure it out, get out.
Yeah. Nope. And like in this regulated environment, this guy should totally have let this white belt tap out.
I'd say that the boyfriend is a butthole because he should have been looking after her. He knew that she was uncomfortable and that she didn't want to be there in the first place. So if you're gonna bring someone in and they like come in and they're reluctant and they're feeling nervous, don't let them spar with a blue belt.
With a blue belt who obviously has no self-control.
Yeah.
And also...
You should be sparring with your girlfriend. You should...
He made her go alone,
He made her go alone?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I missed that part. Then
yeah,
he's the butthole.
Yeah, he made her go... This happened when he made her go alone.
Oh, then yeah, he's the butthole.
So, yeah. So, this guy, major butthole.
I don't know how I missed that part.
And then another person says, gee, I wonder why women students bail so fast. He says that he was just trying to show her how fast things can happen in real life. So is this about abusing and terrorizing women, not teaching them anything?
Real life Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
You've got a JoJo full of irresponsible, unethical creeps. And she learned... What?
Dojo.
That's what I said, dojo.
You said JoJo.
The JoJo Bizarre Adventures?
Yeah.
You got a dojo full of irresponsible, unethical creeps, and she learned so well that you're one of them, and that she won't and she won't be back to it or you. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, butthole. Okay. So this person is asking, would I be the butthole? So this is...
this is a hypothetical butthole
This is
situation.
a hypothetical butthole. So, if I visited my parents after my wife gives birth, so this is kind of like a hypothetical. It hasn't happened yet. There's still hope here.
Okay.
If I visited my parents after my wife gives birth, so what do you think?
Okay. Well, I don't. How immediately after?
Let's see. My wife Sarah and I, both early mid-30s, are expecting twins in early March. First and only kids for both of us. We had to go through IVF due to fertility struggles. Sarah is scheduled for a C-section due to this being a difficult pregnancy and other complications that make her high risk. Luckily, her parents are only a few hours drive away and willing to come whenever needed. Oh, okay. Thank goodness they're a few hours away. They'll be here for an emergency. So they'll only be here in like a couple hours if there's an emergency. So we're in good hands.
We're in good hands.
So my parents live in another country, and I see them usually once a year to every year and a half. They are aware of when Sarah is scheduled to have her C-section. Things have been going on they don't know how to handle, and they want me there to help out. My parents don't have a lot of money, and they went ahead and booked me a non-refundable plane ticket to come help them and visit for 6 weeks.
Oh boy.
The flight date is 5 days after Sarah's scheduled C-section. I asked Sarah to look into rescheduling her surgery a few weeks earlier if possible, but she refused, saying she's got herself mentally prepared for that particular date. And unless there's some sort of emergency with the twins, her OB is not going to approve pushing it up a few weeks, which makes sense. I told her that it would give me more time to help her directly after birth before I leave for my parents. Sarah thinks I'm crazy for even considering going for that long, or at all, while I have 2 newborns at home and she's recovering from surgery, and we're getting adjusted to being new parents. If I had the money to spare, I'd hire someone to stay with Sarah while I'm gone. Hopefully, like an AI replacement. So, like with all his best attributes.
Yeah, Nannybot.
Yeah. I'm referencing.
Oh
the
yeah,
film
you're
Bo.
referencing a movie that I barely watched.
Okay. So, I gently reminded Sarah that I rarely see my family, and if they're asking and paying for me to fly there, it must be something serious that requires my presence. At parents' request, I did not tell her the nature of the issues they needed help with. Plus, Sarah's own parents are only 2.5 hours drive away, and I'm confident they drop whatever they're doing to come help should she need it, and willing to wait for 2.5 hours. So, her mom works remotely and could even stay over some nights to help out with the twins. Sarah again called me crazy and ended up telling her parents what I suggested. They both called me lecturing and fussing about abandoning Sarah when she needed me most. I ended up venting to my younger brother, who was going to be flying out to our parents for a shorter time. He's not married and child-free. and says Sarah is way out of line and she'll be fine if I go. She's simply reacting way too this way due to hormones and being a woman.
Oh,
No,
God.
I inserted the being with a woman
Oh,
part.
well, Nathaniel.
But that's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, okay.
And to be honest, I really want to go, and my parents would lose several $1,000s if I refused. If I have to buy a ticket myself later, if I don't go then, would I be the butthole if I went? Wibta. That means, would I be the butthole? What do you think?
This one is tough because it's family versus family. You know?
I say, this is what I have to say. I say, you're a father now. You have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stay with your wife, who's going to have a lot of trouble struggling with twins and all that kind of stuff. Let your brother handle whatever your parents...
Can his brother handle whatever his parents? Because it's clearly they don't trust him to.
I don't know. I don't know what issues they're having.
Exactly.
But
That's only half the story.
I would say let brother do what it is. Let
if
brother
he
handle
can,
that.
Sure.
He's doesn't have a he's a sad single man with no children. He'll handle it. He'll handle it. It kind of stings that your parents will be out $1,000, but I say stay with the wife. You have responsibilities now. You have your own life. Raise the kids.
Okay.
Raise
Well,
the twins.
the question is first of all,
How dare you?
raise the kids. How long will he be gone for?
I think like
6 weeks.
6 weeks, or is it
There's
6 months?
still plenty of time to raise the kids when you come back.
Let me look up again. It might be 6 weeks or 6 months.
I think it was weeks, Nathaniel. 6 months doesn't make any sense.
It's a long time. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Do you think she can handle it on her own?
So that's not what I'm saying.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. See, I thought so. What I'm saying is that this is a hypothetical. He hasn't decided whether or not he's going to do it yet.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he's leaning towards doing it though.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, this is family versus family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is the family that raised you versus the family that you have now chosen. Yes, he's going to be a father. Yes, it is really important for the wife to have support, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she wants him there and he is the support that she needs, then yes, he should stay, right? But if it's important for him to see his family this one time, so he doesn't get to see them a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's a lot of things to consider.
So what do you think? Is he the butthole for?
Would he be the butthole?
Yeah, would he be the butthole?
I know that if I were in a similar situation, I don't know, because I could hypothesize.
Yeah.
I could hypothesize all I want about what I would do.
Uh-huh.
But that could change in the moment that it actually happens, if that were to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is probably true that she is, under the influence of hormones. You get very hormonal when you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
But you want your husband there. It's and it's difficult because obviously the parents also want him. It's like you're split. He's split between. Depending, because it could be a terrible situation going on with the parents right now. Like maybe there's like a monetary situation happening and they need his help, and the brother doesn't have the ability to help, and he's the one who needs to help. And if he doesn't help, like what happens? Maybe they become bankrupt or something.
Okay. So you're leaning more towards go.
I'm not
fly.
leaning towards anything.
Okay.
I'm saying that this is a difficult situation, and I just don't know if this is like deserving of butthole status. He is in conflict.
I say he would be the butthole if he left. So
You say he would be the butthole if he left.
yeah, you think he would be the butthole if he left?
I think that he would be the butthole in either situation.
Okay.
No matter what he chooses, he's the butthole.
So you think he's a lose-lose?
I think this is a lose-lose situation for him.
Okay, so here's what the people of Reddit have to say. So the first one is AITA, which is you're the butthole. You're kidding me. ... Even though they're cutting your wife open and you'll be gone 6 weeks, leaving your wife alone 5 days after her surgery while she's in recovery with twins. Do you even want a child? You act like this moment, your children's birth, is less important than anything else. You say cultural standpoint, but what about your wife has children? What's your cultural standpoint then? Your wife and children are more important, and your family should understand that. And then, quotes, at parents' request, I did not tailor the nature of the issues they need help with. First off, this is the response. First off, this is the first boo-boo you made. Instead of fully communicating with your wife about the seriousness of your parents' injuries, physical care, and help in general, especially if they are in their older ages, you just expected her to be okay with that decision, and when she wasn't. Another quote. He is not married and child-free, meaning the brother. And he says Sarah is way out of line and she'll be fine if I go. She's simply reacting this way due to hormones. This is your second boo-boo. Asking your unmarried and child-free brother for advice and him saying, yeah, it's just hormones, even though they're cutting your wife open and you'll be gone 6 weeks while she's in recovery. Do you even want a child again? You act like this is less important than everything else. Your wife and child are more important than your family and your family should understand that. I think you're withholding some information because of this, which I do think. I think he is
probably
withholding.
True.
They're asking and paying me to fly there. It must be something serious that requires my presence. What?
I'm really curious as to why the parents purchased flights at that time, because they knew when the surgery was going to happen. So how could they think that 5 days after the surgery is perfectly fine?
No idea. Did they know that the C-section was happening at that point?
He said so in the thing. He said that that he had mentioned that and that they knew the date.
They shouldn't have done that.
Then they shouldn't have done that.
Okay. As a quote from they're asking and paying for me to fly there must be something serious. Just doesn't sound right, because they're asking you, but have also paid for the entire flight to and from and expected you to be able to show up last minute, knowing your babies are being born soon. Everything about this post is wrong. So that's what one person said.
Maybe.
Here's another one. AITA. Your first priority needs to be being there for your wife and newborn children.
Sure.
Your parents need to come in a distant second now. Weeks in the womb are not nothing. Those final weeks can be crucial to the baby's development, and few more weeks in can be the difference between lifelong complications and a healthy baby. Asking your wife to move up her C-section and give birth earlier would be asking her to harm the children she's carrying. Yeah.
Yep, definitely
what
bad.
Kind of father even makes such a ridiculous request?
Probably someone who doesn't understand pregnancy.
Yeah. What kind of person considers leaving their wife and newborn children for 6 weeks after she's given birth? I'm going to let you know this right now. This is some seriously divorce level poop. If you go, do not expect to have a wife and family to come home to. Yep. Enjoy both your wife and your kids deserve better than someone who would leave them almost at the time when they are most vulnerable and most in need of care.
I don't know.
Your parents have your younger brother for anything emergent, which is what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said. But I don't know about this younger brother. Is he trustworthy? I don't know.
You need to step up, grow up, and tell your parents that it's on them for booking this flight at an obviously bad time.
Yep.
When you need to be there for your family. This is an obvious power move, and you're not falling for it. Besides, this precious time with your family is worth far more than a couple thousand. You will buy yourself a ticket when you're able to come see them. So yeah, I'm going to have to agree.
I think a lot of these people are being very dramatic.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another one.
I do think that it's probably the best idea is to stay with your wife. That's a very, emotional time. She's getting a C-section, which is even worse, mentally.
Yep. And I would say, uh, great. Fortunately, this hasn't happened yet,
Yeah.
and he still has a decision.
See, this is why I think people are being very dramatic because they're treating like it's already happened. It hasn't happened
It
yet.
hasn't happened yet, and luckily, he consulted the people of Reddit, and they have once again saved the day,
Hopefully.
and saved his marriage.
Is that
If
so?
he stayed.
If he stayed, we don't know.
So here's another one.
Okay.
AITA, this is a joke, right? Are you even considering? You're even considering leaving your wife and twin newborns less than a week after their birth for 6 weeks? And your suggestion was to reschedule the C-section in a few weeks earlier. This is
Yikes.
insane. You know what? Go. Leave your wife and children when they need you most. Just do them a favor and don't come back. Okay, I think you need to probably chill out.
See, this is what I'm saying. Everybody's being super duper dramatic. And I get that. There are kids involved.
Yeah.
You know, they're not born yet, but there are kids involved.
Yeah.
But, like, guys,
No.
chill out a bit.
I hopefully he stayed.
Hopefully he stayed.
That seems to be the advice that a lot of people are giving. Even though they're kind of treating it like he already abandoned them.
Right?
Which he is kind of seriously considering doing that.
But it's not abandonment. He's gonna come back.
After 6 weeks.
After 6 weeks,
At a very
sure.
crucial part.
Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't have to stay the whole 6 weeks.
I
He
say
can move up his flight.
I say let the brother deal with it.
Sure,
And-
let the brother deal with it if he can. I don't know what the brother's deal is. Maybe he's a burnout or something.
Yeah, well, he needs to step it up then.
He it's true. He needs to be there for his new family. But I understand because, like, you know, we're close with our parents, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're close with your parents, then you want to, you know, help them when you can. And he obviously isn't able to see them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now they're asking for his help. So, like, you know, you're caught between.
I say, like, if your family loves you, you'll be like, I'm staying with my family.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know, because I don't know what the situation is. I don't know how angry they're going to be, but they should be understanding of the fact that he needs to stay with his wife, who is going to be giving birth.
Okay, so here's another one called relationship advice from a relationship. So this guy wants advice.
Okay.
We don't want to know. He doesn't want to know whether or not he's the butthole. So
we've got that
we
figured
will
out.
now give him advice.
Okay.
I think my 29 male, so he's a 29 guy, 29 male. Stop looking at the time.
I can't even read it, so it doesn't even matter.
Okay, so my girlfriend, who's 26 female, so the same age,
Okay.
left me without warning. I think my girlfriend left me without warning.
Okay.
So let's see if he really did leave without warning.
Find out.
So we've been together 11 years. We had our problems, but we always worked it out. Some months ago, we had a huge fight about me never wanting to have intimacy, and I ended up yelling at her that she was boring, not attractive, and I didn't want to be with her.
Okay. That sounds like a good reason to leave somebody.
Okay. Oh, well, my girlfriend left me. I called her a dumb
I said
dummy,
that she was
and I hated her.
boring and that I didn't want to be with her, and then she left me? What?
I said she was ugly and unlovable, and I hated her.
I said that I wasn't attracted to her physically, and I didn't want to touch her at all.
So, we had other fights and stuff. She wasn't able to let go, but she went to sleep with me. We talked the next day, and she was fine. She stopped fighting with me about stupid stuff, and we were awesome. You know, stupid stuff like, you know, me telling her that she's garbage and I hate her.
Disgusting, and I don't want to physically touch her.
I think she's so gross, and I never want to touch her.
And I don't want to be with her at all, ever.
Yeah. And we were awesome. I've never been so happy with my relationship. She kept working and cleaning the house, and I thought she finally understood that I needed time alone. So she started letting me play my video games without complaining and going out more with friends or to classes without me. I really thought we were doing better, and she's totally not having an affair at all.
Oh.
And
it sounds like he didn't want a girlfriend. Sounds like he wanted a mom.
Yeah. So she let me she like made sandwiches for me while I played my video games.
Yeah,
like,
she gave me like snacks and stuff, and then she like left the room and left me alone so I could play my video games.
so I can play my video games. So I
and
can get
I
like.
didn't want to have any like sex with her or anything
As-
because that's like gross.
That was like gross, and I
Ew.
needed to get my kills on Fortnite.
Yeah.
So, so, and she would like leave for hours at a time. I guess she finally knew I needed my space. She would leave for hours at a time. She would come home some nights.
Hey.
But yesterday I came home to find it empty of her stuff. She took everything, even her car, and left me a note saying she was over me, that I could keep the money I owed her as a payment. She was wasting my life and time, and that she's going to her mom's. I don't know what to do. I'm planning on going to see her and talk so she can get back home with me. I need advice. What can I tell her?
Don't. Just don't. What's the point?
You want me-
Clearly not attracted to her.
Clearly not attracted to her, and you don't want her.
clearly don't want a girlfriend. You want a nanny to take care of you.
Yeah.
And pay for your things and clean the house and leave you alone to play your video games.
To play your Fortnite
and you're not
Overwatch.
giving her anything. It's clear that the happiest he was in his relationship was when she wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I think that he should not be in a relationship. I don't think he's ready for one.
Mm-hmm. And you can't be all like, she did it out of the blue. And
She did it out of the blue. How could I possibly have not seen what was going on?
I say good on her. She was totally wasting her life with
Absolutely.
with this guy who finds someone better. And okay, so he has an edit.
Okay.
Let's see what this stand-up guy says to defend himself. Okay. People are thinking I don't find her attractive.
Well, you literally said that you didn't one time.
I said that because I was mad. I didn't mean it. I know she's attractive. She's pretty and has a great body. She does pole dance, hence the classes. And she takes her looks very seriously. I helped making dinner and breakfast for us, so I was not always playing video games.
Okay.
I make more money than her since she was working half-time,
Okay.
so she could get her art and tattoo studio work. So she's an artist and an inksmith? Why did you leave this girl? She sounds awesome. So, and a pole dancer? She sounds dope. Why did you take her for granted so much?
Some people.
This guy really, like,
He really
did
beefed
not,
it.
Yeah, he really beefed it.
He really
beefed this, dude. You should, like, man, you stink. you really had this really cool lady, and you were like, oh, whatever, dude. You stink.
I don't want her to physically touch me. I just want to be by myself.
I want my video games to touch me.
Obviously, yes, it's important to have time and space to yourself, but like, you have to have.
You have to have what?
You have to have time as a couple as well.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we are an individual. We are individual people, but we are also a couple now.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to do couple things.
Yeah. Like
she was clearly unhappy in the relationship, but he couldn't see that because she was just doing whatever it was that he wanted her to do.
Yeah. And they've been together for 11 years, which is a
11
long
years,
time.
That is a long time.
It sounds like she was probably staying with you more out of necessity, like more like he's all I've ever known, so I'm going to stick with it. Which is what a lot
that
of
happens to a lot of people.
a lot of ladies and a lot of fellas out there fall for that trap. And so for her taking that step, I would say that is very commendable.
Very commendable of her.
And I say she is super cool, and she will find someone who treasures her more than you, because you're a butthole and you're a
unless
buttface.
you massively change how you're going to treat her, just leave her alone.
I think you leave her alone. Yeah, my advice is, you're a dumb dummy, and you should probably be single. Okay, so here's what the people of Reddit says. First one says, "She is done. Leave her alone. You said enough to point of no return. Her not complaining was accepting. She does not care what you do anymore, which I agree.
Yep.
She left me without warning, and then 3 lines down, I ended up yelling at her that she was boring, not attractive, and I don't want to be with her. Dude, yeah, I agree. And then, you do nothing. You screwed up. Just let her go. That's my advice.
Yep.
Do nothing. You're a massive a-hole. So you're done. Get out of here.
Yep, get out of here.
So, okay. So let's see. Another one. Another butthole. Or maybe it's not a butthole.
Oh.
So, okay. Am I the butthole for accepting the prize money for winning a game I didn't know I was playing?
Oh. Okay.
So, okay. So I, 21 female, went to my granddad's, 80 male, okay, an older gentleman,
Okay.
and went to my granddad's house last week, and he handed me a jar full of cash with my name on it. He told me to count it, and it came up to 3,200 pounds. Okay, so she's from
British.
she's from the UK.
The UK.
From Great Britain.
From the England.
Mm-hmm. I asked him what it was for, and he explained the rules of the game. He'd been playing with the whole family from December 1st, 2023. She's British, so she wrote it 1st of December 2023.
1st of December 2023.
To the 31st of December 2023, or December 31st,
Yes.
2023, which is the American way and therefore the right way.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Just stop.
I-
Just keep. Don't
What?
make jokes like that.
It's funny.
No, it's not.
No, I'm kidding. Whatever way is fine. I do think the British way makes more sense. I get it. It's smaller to greater. Makes more sense.
Okay, keep going.
Every time a member of the family visited him, he put 100 pounds in their jar for every hour they spent with him. At the end of the month, the person who spent the most time with him would receive all the money in their jar, and the others would get nothing. He obviously didn't tell anybody he was doing this so that no one spent extra time with him to get the money. I won this game by 600 pounds, so 6 hours more than the person who came second, which was her uncle. At first, I didn't want to accept the money only because I didn't think it was right to play games with people without them knowing, especially not your family. But after he convinced me to take the prize money because I earned it. When I got home, I told my parents about the money and I explained this game to them. I told my mom.
Keep going.
Where she came on the scoreboard, which was fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And she was understandably upset with her father for making us unknowingly compete with each other. She then told the rest of the family via a group chat. So now pretty much the whole family is mad at my granddad for doing this, but also me for accepting the money. He's an old man and not exactly a millionaire, so they think that I should have refused the money and confronted him for what he did. I think that if he was willing to play this game, then he obviously has no problem with giving the money away, and he did insist on me taking it. Also, he has always been a weird guy, so although I don't agree with what he did, I'm not too surprised, and I don't think I should have had to start an argument with him about it. What do you think?
I don't think that person is the butthole.
I don't think she really did anything.
She didn't do anything. That was all grandfather.
That was all granddad.
He decided to play this weird game with his family members that he was playing all by himself.
Yeah.
She got the money because she spent the most time with him. Because that was the rules that he had set that nobody else knew of.
Well, it's what I say is it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it.
If he wants to give it to you, it is yours.
And he wants us to play this game to see who
spends the most time with him.
Which I get. A lot of older people value company.
Also, he probably doesn't have anything to do, so this game was just probably something for him to pass the time.
What I think, what OP, his original poster,
yes,
probably messed up a little bit was blabbing about it.
About what? For what reason?
Yeah, blabbing about it to everyone. If that happened to me,
this seems like a secret game. Keep it to yourself.
If he gave it if I got like this money for spending time with them, first of all, I wouldn't think it was right because I'm spending time with my family and I love them. I'm not doing it because I'm getting paid.
Yep.
But
he made that decision.
He made that decision himself, and he insisted on it. And I'm like, okay. And I wouldn't go around. I would keep that huge secret. I would keep that. I would not tell nobody. I'll be like zip.
I'll be like, okay.
I'll zip it up. I won't go around telling, hey, everybody, like, money's playing this game and whatever. And you got fourth, Mom. You stink, Bob. And then, or, you stink, Mumsy.
Oh.
You stink, Mummy. And so she's British.
Yes.
And,
I got that.
So, yeah, I don't think you're the butthole. You didn't do anything except...
You didn't do anything except...
Maybe blab about it.
Take the money and then tell your parents about it.
Tell everyone about it, which I probably wouldn't have done. But that doesn't make you a butthole.
She told the parents, and then the parents told everybody.
And the parents told everybody. I don't think that makes her a butthole. I think it's just
so.
a bad judgment.
I think it's just you made the wrong move.
I think you made the wrong move, and that's that. So yeah, that's the buttholes and not buttholes for this week.
We're not gonna read the comments for this one.
Oh yeah. We should do that.
Yeah, get a couple comments in, and then we'll call it.
Yeah.
An episode.
Nata, and if you feel bad about receiving this money, might I suggest you spend it on experiences for you and your granddad to share? And then OP responds, he does keep talking about wanting to go abroad somewhere. I could spend it on both of us having a nice holiday. Having a nice holiday.
Having a nice holiday with my grandpa.
If you want a good place for a holiday.
With my granda.
With your granda. If you want a good holiday for your granda, I would suggest the good old US of A.
Oh my god. A national tour.
Yeah, come on.
See all of the sights.
Yeah, come over to God's country. Oh, go to the Midwestern United States. Yeah, we're going to the land, home to the free, land of the brave. Come on over to the US of A. Hey, so
finish the comment.
Let's see what else we got. Nata, personally, I think the game just shows which people in the family get along with them better, / feel a certain closeness and understanding with your grandpa, and thus spend time together. It's a bit rude to put that into monetary value, ? A bit, but he's free to do what he wants, though I suspect that he'll just get many more visits around Christmas, and he will not give money again next year. Yeah. OP responds with, yeah, he told me he wouldn't do it again next year, but I'm not going to tell anyone he said that. I'm just going to enjoy watching everyone tripping over each other to visit him. So, yeah. I mean, at least you can not say that.
Yeah.
Nata! My parents talked about doing something similar. Certain amounts of text, phone calls, and person visits, etc. He wants to see his family. It's his money, he can do as he pleases with it. And he showed how much you visiting him meant. Your family is just bitter because that's a large amount. If your uncle, your mom, your aunt, your cousin would have received it, everyone else would be jealous of the person that got it. Nata, enjoy your time with your grandpa. You didn't know you were being given money to hang out with him. You just visit him because you love him. Mm-hmm. Don't let your family get you down because you love your grandpa.
Yep.
And come to the good old US of A.
Oh, no, he did not say that.
Okay, so OP responds with, thanks. I'm hoping that they now realize how important it is to him that they go and spend time with him. And then it responds with, has your grandpa ever used his words and asked them? It can be hard for certain people depending on what is going on in their lives. And also, has he been visiting him? OP responds with,
he's an old man.
Yeah, he tries to organize things all the time that people don't show up for, despite saying that they will. I understand that people have jobs and kids and stuff, but you say that you can come and see them. It's a little rude to change your mind last minute. And with his age, he struggles to get around without someone driving him, so he can't really go visit the family himself. Skimeon would have to pick him up. Oh, I think she meant to say someone would have to pick him up. So yeah, I can see why your grandfather did it more. Because yeah, that's really uncool to plan something and someone says, "Oh yeah, I'll
And
go," and then not show up.
We're all
I
gonna
would,
go, and then they don't.
yeah, I would feel some kind of way about it. I'll be like, you guys kind of stink.
I'm gonna hold a little competition to see who loves me the most.
Yeah, that'll learn them. So yeah, I kind of understand now why you did that more. So yeah, that's our buttholes and not buttholes.
Yep.
So what do you think? Who do you think is the biggest butthole?
I think that I think I've come around to the jujitsu one. I think he's the biggest butthole.
You think I think the biggest butthole is
for this one.
I think it's Mr. My pole dancing Inksmith artist girlfriend.
But that wasn't a butthole one, Nathaniel. That was a advice one.
Okay. My advice is you stink.
Mm-hmm.
The guy stinks. If I have to exclude him, probably jujitsu guy.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all the buttholes today, this week. So I've been Nathaniel Avila.
And I have been Clara Avila.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to a Vision podcast, home of wacky talkies, The Kingdom, Evil Exists, and many more.